What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, I'm gonna be showing y'all how to create a very special build today. Now, Magic Johnson is a true point guard, and with this build that I'm bringing to y'all, has all the abilities of a slasher and sharpshooter. And not to mention, Magic is one of the most overpowered point guards in NBA 2K23, and also has one of the best all-around playmaker abilities. Now, we're going to be making a 6'9" point guard, and this is going to be a build that's going to be hard to get by with great D and high steal ratings, but this build can also play down low as a slasher or even a floor spacer, and it also has a solid mid-range game from the three-pointer as well, and this build is ready to take over games and put up a lot of points for you. Now look, with this build, we have the potential to get a 100 plus when it comes down to the close shot, layup, driving dunk, three-pointer, ball handle, steal, block, and defensive rebound. Now for the animations, we will be able to get pro contact dunks as well as pro dribbling animations. So with all that being said, look, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. But be sure to comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will be hitting y'all back with the response. So from here, let's go ahead and get started with the breakdown of this build. We gotta go ahead and make it under the point guard position. Now, everything from the body settings all the way to the attributes will play a huge factor on this build. Now, when it comes down to the body settings, I'm gonna go with the height of 6'9", 194 for the weight with a 7'4" wingspan. Now, the body shape that I like best for this specific build is going to be defined, and if you want to change it, you definitely can do so. Now from here, let's go ahead and get started when it comes down to the physicals. Now, when it comes down to the speed, I'm going to go with an 83, 80 acceleration, 76 vertical with a 90 stamina. Now, honestly, when it comes down to this area, I didn't want to go ahead and upgrade the strength. That way, I'm able to at least get more out of my offense and defensive abilities. So if you want to, go ahead and add the +4 from your Gatorade workouts or the gym rat badge. From here, I'm going to leave it like this, but let's go ahead and get started when it comes down to the defense. Now for the interior, I'm going to go with the 65, 78 perimeter, 85 steal, 81 block with an offensive rebound of 76 and a defensive of an 81. Now with these 24 badges, I like Box Out Beast and Glove for tier 1. Post Lockdown is also solid with gold ankle braces. Now for tier 2, I'm looking at Chase Down Artist and Interceptor. Clamps and Challenger are solid as well. But for tier 3, I'm really liking Anchor and Rebound Chaser. And remember, if you want to make more adjustments towards this area, you can definitely go ahead and do so. But I'm bringing it to y'all how I decided to create it. Now, this is the best way that you can go about it for the defensive end. 24 badges in total. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the playmaking. Now, for my pass accuracy, I'm going to go with the 75, 87 ball handle with a 75 speed with ball. Now, with these 20 badges, I like Ankle Breaker and Hall of Fame, Hyperdrive. Also, when it comes down to tier 2, Quick First Step on gold. For tier 3, I like Clamp Breaker, Handles for Days, Killer Combos, and Unpluckable. And I think when it comes down to the defense and getting into the offense, this build is looking solid so far. A total of 44 badges, and the badge count is only going to grow drastically from here. Now let's go ahead and check out how good we're going to be on the shooting end. Now for my mid-range shot, I'm going to go with a 76, 85 three-pointer, and an 81 free throw. Now with these 21 badges, I like Amped and Mini Magician, also Space Creator and Volume Shooter. We get Agent 3 out of tier 2, Green Machine, and then for tier 3, the main badge that I'm focused on will be Limitless Range. Now in total, when it comes down to this build on the offensive end, you can already see that we're going to be a definite threat from the outside. Now keep in mind, if you were paying attention, I did say we're going to be able to get contact dunks. So far with how this build is looking, I'm telling y'all, one of the most complete and true point guard builds that I brought to y'all this year. So let's go ahead and wrap it up when it comes down to the finishing. Now for the close shot, I'm going to go with an 85, 80 driving layup, 87 driving dunk with a 75 standing dunk. Now with these 20 badges, we get Pro Touch on Hall of Fame, silver slithery. Then for tier 2, we do get gold limitless takeoff and fearless finisher. And then for tier 3, I'm happy that we get posterizer, fast twitch on gold with rise up. Now with this badge count, if you add everything up together, we have a total of 85 badges. Go ahead and add in the +4 for my career, and you're going to be able to start off rip with 89 total badges for this 6'9" point guard build. Now I normally don't make builds this overpowered. I tend to make them based off my own liking, and honestly I love to make them more unique, but look, this is one of the better all-around point guards that you can possibly make. Now with the takeovers, we get the slashing, shot creating, sharpshooting with the playmaking. Now if you want the most potential out of this build when it comes down to the playmaking, you can definitely go ahead and pick one of these takeovers for the +10 boost. Now when it comes down to the sharpshooting, I definitely gotta say I would go with limitless range or ankle breaking shots. Now I'm gonna go with first limitless range. The second one, I would really consider finishing moves. That way we're able to get a 100+ driving dunk as well as our layup. Let's go ahead and check out the build to make sure that we made it correctly together. And if you followed every single step, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see together, we were able to create one of the best true point guard builds, the inside out scorer Magic Johnson build. Now you can even go ahead and consider this to be a catfish. The defense is really solid, more overpowered than what I could have expected. Now the fact that this build does not have a two-way inside of it makes it all the better, so these people who are guarding you are not going to be able to guess what you can actually do out of this build. Now keep in mind, look, we're going to be able to get a +10 towards 2 different areas because of our takeovers, but then when it also comes down to the shooting, you'll be able to get a +4 if you do run with teammates that do have on floor general. And then if you do decide to go ahead and buy your own boost, that's going to be a +5, and your stats actually gradually go up the better you play as well. So just something to take into consideration. From here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badges. Now when it comes down to the finishing, I'm going to go with Pro Touch on Hall of Fame. Now for tier 2, I like limitless takeoff and fearless finisher. Tier 3, I'm going to go with core, fast twitch on gold with silver posterizer. Now with these badges, I think everything is solid when it comes down to the finishing. Now if you wanted to, add 2 extra badges towards this build, and we'll be able to also put on slithery, just to give y'all a minor suggestion. But when it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go with amped, mini magician, space creator, and volume shooter out of tier 1. For tier 2, I like green machine and agent 3, and then for tier 3, I like core, limitless range on silver. Now this build is definitely going to be a threat from the mid-range as well as outside from the 3-pointer, especially with the fact that we're able to hit shots off the dribble. Agent 3 and Space Creator will be perfect for that, but once we pair up Amped and Mini Magician, I think this makes the build all the better. And look, if you do decide to throw extra badges into this area, you're going to be able to get Volume Shooter on the Hall of Fame tier. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with Ankle Breaker on Hall of Fame, Break Starter on Silver, and Hyperdrive for Tier 1. Now, for Tier 2, I like Quick First Step on Gold. And then for Tier 3, I'm going to go with Handles for Days and Killer Combos. Now, this is one of the better areas when it comes down to this build as far as actual badges. We have everything that we need. Now, if you want to, you can switch any of them up for Clamp Breaker or Unpluckable. I really do see Hyperdrive and Ankle Breaker very useful, but if you wanted to take any of these off, remember you can do so to your own playstyle and liking. Now for the defense, I'm going to go with Ankle Braces, Box Out Beast, Glove, and Post Lockdown for Tier 1. For Tier 2, I like Chase Down Artist, Clamps, and Interceptor. And then for Tier 3, Rebound Chaser with Anchor as my core badge. Now for this defensive setup, we have all of the badges to be able to guard any position 1 through 5. And you can make any adjustments or any layout based to your own liking and playstyle. But as far as all around, I think this build has everything that we need. We're able to shoot, get contact dunks, get most of and all of the pro dribble moves. And then when it comes down to the actual height on this build, gonna play a huge factor on the defensive end. So look, if you did enjoy today's video, let me know in the comments, would you make any changes or adjustments? And if you made it exactly how I did, be sure to go ahead and let me know as well. Now, if you have any suggestions of builds or videos, be sure to go ahead and drop a comment. But if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And I would appreciate it if everybody smashed that like button and commented down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from watching today. And I most definitely will hit y'all back with the response. But with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.